Verstappen secured a dominant win in the Mexico City GP to take a potentially significant victory in his quest to end Lewis Hamilton's reign as world champion, opening his title lead to 19 points with 4 races to go. Hamilton just held off Sergio Perez, Verstappen's teammate, for second place against a clearly faster race car, but first and third still represents the big comeback result from a Red Bull, who are surprisingly outqualified behind Mercedes on Saturday. Verstappen made light work of the Valtteri Bottas Hamilton front row by strongly slipstreaming past both on the outside at the start, decisively claiming the lead. He never relinquished outside of the stops. He won by 16.5 seconds for a record third victory in Mexico and a 9th win of the 2021 season, where the momentum increasingly looks to be with the 24-year-old Dutchman in his blockbuster fight with Lewis Hamilton for the driver's crown. You just have to congratulate Red Bull because their pace was on another level, said Toto Wolff. In the end, for Lewis Championship, it was damage limitation. Hamilton said congratulations to Max. Their car was far superior this weekend and there was nothing we could really do about it. To compound first lap matters for Mercedes, pole sitter Bottas was spun around into the first corner by McLaren's Daniel Ricciardo, which dropped into the back of the field. A delay at his second pit stop then dropped the luckless Bottas conclusively out of the points contention, although one solace for Mercedes was that the pole position at least allowed them to complete an inconsequential late pit stop for pits for the fastest laps, which took the hill away from Verstappen. They also kept them ahead of the Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship by 1 point, and Verstappen leads Hamilton by 19 points. So yeah, it does seem like the Championship's slipping away from Mercedes, considering where they were a few weeks ago. Perez ran longer than Hamilton before his sole pit stop, but could not quite make his tyre advantage count in the late stages, despite closing Hamilton down. Nonetheless, the absolute delight of the huge local crowd, he became the first Mexican to finish on the podium in his home event in the 21 editions of the race, stretching back to 1963. AlphaTauri's Pierre Gasly took a brilliant fourth ahead of the Ferraris, who briefly switched the order of their drivers late on to try and put pressure on the Frenchman, but it was to no avail. The previous order was to put back with Charles Leclerc in fifth ahead of Carlos Sainz. However, it's still a good day for the Scuderies, and McLaren scoring only 1 point with Lando Norris, who raced well back from penalised 18th on the grid. The Italian team reclaimed third in the championship. Former world champions Sebastian Vettel, Kimi Räikkönen and Fernando Alonso all raced solidly across 71 laps to improve on their starting positions and took home useful points. If there ends up being a single weekend that encapsulates the unpredictable twists and turns of an engrossing season, then perhaps it will go down to this one at the Autodrome or Hermanos Rodriguez. Dominant on Friday, but downbeat by the end of Saturday, Red Bull capped the ultimate Mexico rollercoaster on Sunday by delivering the kind of front-running form they were always expected to show on a circuit that is historically suited their car and engine package. Although disappointed to miss out on pole, Verstappen had said that third place he was starting in was going to be better than second where Hamilton was. The opening seconds of the race underlined that belief as he took the toe of the two ahead as they punched a hole in the air for the pack behind. It was a brave move around the outside of Mercedes, said Jenson Button. He knew where to brake. He'd been braking there all weekend and it was a lot easier on the racing line, but he had the confidence to turn in and know that there was not going to tap him on the rear. But it was a great move and it could be the defining moment for the championship. Sure-footed on the brakes to claim the lead. A victorious Verstappen said afterwards, "It was nice 3 wide and it was all about just trying to brake as late as you can. I kept on the track, came from third to first, and that was basically what made the race because I could just focus on myself and we had incredible pace in the car." Hamilton and Mercedes certainly had no answer for that race pace. After 4 laps behind the safety car for the first corner melee, Verstappen was 3 seconds clear after the first 4 laps of green flag racing and steadily grew his advantage to 9 seconds by the time Mercedes pitted Hamilton on lap 29. Verstappen was in 4 laps later when the leaders switched to the hard tyres and changed nothing in the narrative, with the Dutchman continuing to stretch clear of Hamilton, whose attention anyway soon turned to Perez, who delayed his own stop until lap 40. Returning to the track 9 seconds behind Mercedes, Perez was in striking distance within a dozen laps, but did not quite get close enough to make an overtake. Of course I wanted more. I wanted to get a 1-2 for the team, but I didn't have a single chance to get through, said Perez, nonetheless jubilant about finishing on the podium in front of his home fans. I could hear the crowd coming through the stadium section. It was pretty incredible. Before I go, let me run you through the final classification for the race. Max Verstappen, of course, winning. Absolutely dominant performance, brilliant by him. Hamilton as well, also performing really well to keep ahead of Perez. Perez had a decent race, but I think he really could have got second in that car, to be honest. And then you got Gasly in fourth, great job from him. Leclerc and Sainz will be disappointed not to get quite close enough to the AlphaTauri, but still above McLaren, so great day for them. Vettel and Raikkonen, great days for them as well, really picking up the pace of the two former Ferrari drivers. And then you've got Alonso in ninth, Norris in 10th. I think they'll both be disappointed, really. Good comeback drives from both of them, but losing crucial ground to their rivals constructors. Giovinazzi in 11th, I swear he was in 6th at the one point, I don't really know what happened to him. And then Ricciardo in 12th, obviously that corner tap with Bottas really just screwed him, and I think he has to take the blame for that. And then you've got Ocon in 13th, bit of a disappointing race compared to Alonso too, same for Stroll in 14th, and then Bottas, just an absolute nightmare race, really poor. But I don't think it was his fault, but he just got stuck there, poor guy. And then you've got the two Williams who just didn't really have the pace this weekend and just dropped back, and then Mazepin obviously last as per usual. Schumacher and Tsunoda. Tsunoda, you have to really feel for them this weekend. Showed so much promise but delivered so little. And Schumacher, just a shame that he couldn't make it past the first corner. But anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, note the thoughts, comments down below. Follow on to link description below for daily F1 news and subscribe to the channel on the screen. I would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.